What's up, everybody? Okay, so this is a real quick one. Okay, I'll get way more into this, but it's about picking your angle for your shots. When you're picking an angle for a shot, look, man, there's a couple of ways to go about it. I'm gonna create this camera over here. I'm gonna set it to this camera number 5, and now you've got like a lot of leeway. Okay, let's go get that number camera 5. So when you pick a shot, you see the problem most people have is they make a pretty image and they want to put everything in that image. They want to show everything in that image. And I get it. I mean, you put a lot of work into it and whatnot, and you want to show that image off. But there's a huge difference. Learn to cut the fat off of your shots. If the parts don't help telling the story, cut them off. Cut him off. You don't need him. Like the back of his head here, or this arm, or here. You know, these things don't need to be seen. So here's a render, like a real quick test render I did, and it's a cool render. It looks awesome. Because I wanted to show the entire shot. Okay, I wanted to show the entire shot. It looks pretty cool. I can see what's happening. But it's not dynamic. It's not dynamic, and everybody does a shot from the side or whatever. It's not very cool. And this is the shot that I decided to go with because it's a lot more dynamic. Look, I've got everything I want to show in the shot. I've got him. I've got that wicked. This is where I'm focusing. I've got this wicked shot of the eye. You can see him is in absolute agony and pain and just scared as hell. I've got his hands trying to pull the beast's hands off of it. Look, such a nice shot. And in the background, way in the background, I've got the picture of the monster. So you know it's a monster, but he's not the focal point. And for me, this is way more dynamic, better storytelling than this one. You see, this one, it's trying to get everything in the image. Okay, you've put all the work into it and whatnot, so you want the whole thing in the image. And this doesn't work, man. It looks pretty cool. I mean, let's be honest, it looks pretty damn sweet. But you know, if you kind of zoom out a bit or crow, I mean, that's a little bit better. But that, compared to that, I think they're two total different ball games. The one's dynamic, the one's not. So look, man, how do you begin with this? Look, the first thing I always do when I start an image is I make sure I go here. And my focal distance, this thing over here, it's usually on 60. Not that. No, just ignore that. All mates, yeah, it's usually on 65, right? And 65, I don't like. I like cinematic shots. And then I put it on 100. Now, why 100, you ask? Why 100, you ask? Now, if I go close to this, if I go pretty close to this, and I leave this on a, let's say a 60 or whatever the hell it is, you can see it starts distorting, right? It starts getting that kind of distortion in, which is maybe something you like. But I like the cinematic. You know, the lower you go, 30, and you see how things start getting really distorted when you get close up. So I like to use 100mm or higher, because what that does is it keeps your distortion minimal. It's awesome. Look at that. And that kind of gives you like such a nice cinematic feel. And go ahead. I mean, once you've got your scene set up, maybe you know your shot beforehand, and then it makes life easier. But then you can go in and you can just start playing around, mess around a bit. Like, take your camera, start looking a little bit. You know, you can leave it on render if you want. And you can see from there, oh, my computer's probably going to go mental. Need to dust it, okay. But once you've got something like this, you can check it out, and then you can just start playing with the angles. And you can pick something that works for you. Try and go out of the ordinary. Try a little bit to just not stick with what you used to. Okay, let me just switch all this crap off. It's just too much. Where's all the cameras? Just switch them all off. And you can start playing around, seeing what works, kind of looking around, you know, and see what kind of works for you. What shot is working? What shot is looking good? I mean, you know, I could go this shot. We could all go this shot. But it's easy. It's an easy shot. It's just because you want to show everything off, and it's not great. Obviously, I can't go like this because I just see the back of a head. Something's happening here. But I did it for shot. So there we go. I wanted to focus on the face. Don't be afraid to go close up, man. Look at that. Look at that. Bam. That already shows off more than any other angle I've had. It's frightening. It's a frightening shot, which is cool. Don't feel like you need to have everything in the shot. You don't need to have everything in the shot. Cut off the fat. You don't need to show everything. A more effective shot always, 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 always is that shows what are you trying to get? What are you trying to show, right? Ach, Mensch. What are you trying to show? I mean, this is all good. That's fine. It's a nice shot. It looks pretty cool. But there's nothing dynamic about it. Now, when I go to the back here, I've got depth. This guy's behind. This guy's in front. I can use depth of field now. Now it starts making it dynamic. I don't give a shit about the monster. I just want to, you just need to know he's there. Okay? What I care about is this dude, his agony, his pain, and what the hell he's going through right now. Okay? And this is why I chose this shot. So, in future, try and stay away, or try get something a little bit more dynamic in your shots, okay? The beauty of this is you've got a camera, you can mess around, you can go, you can select it. You say to yourself, okay, I can try 200 millimeter. There we go. Now it's a real close-up shot. Now that thing's right on top of me. Look at that. That creature's right on top of you now. Because the 200, it's a zoom lens. It's a beautiful lens for this kind of thing. So you can get really up close and personal shots using 100, 200 millimeter lens. 100 or higher. Look at that, right on top. If you want to add more focus onto the creature, that's a beautiful lens to use. Look at it, it's right there. Now check this out. If I put it down to 100, 100, you see, and I go back up, I still got that dude's face, but the creature's face is more in the background. You see that? A little bit more distortion, whatever. It's looking pretty good. If I go down to a 30, now I start getting a hell of a distortion. And, maybe this is something that you... maybe this is something that you're after. But not me. Not me, people. Not me. I like this 100. And with 100, I can get a really nice image there. So don't be afraid to mess around with the camera length, the focal length. This is such an important one, because straight after that, you can just put on your depth of field, and you can nail it perfectly. You can go into side by side here, and you can see exactly what you want to get, right? Let's just put this camera on, and you can start setting your focal length. There we go. And lift this up a little bit like this, make it a little bit Schadenfreude, a little bit bigger like this, and there we go. Okay, and wherever you move that little thingamabob is where it'll focus there. If you want the monster in focus, you can put it there, your focal distance. So you're just messing with two parameters here: focal distance and the f-stop. And this is cool. How much depth of field do you want? I want a hell of a lot of depth of field. Bam. I don't even know it's a monster anymore. But if I lift this up higher, you can start getting other things in focus. Okay? So, a couple of things that you want to mess around with from now on. When you're picking a shot, damn shot, you've got a camera, right? Move your camera, move different things, different angles. Look at this, look at that kind of shot like that. Now there's no monster in the shot, but damn, you can get some nice looking shots like this. Look at this. If you just want to have him in there, you can go ahead and you can do it. And it's awesome. Remember, stop being held down by trying to show off everything, okay? You don't need to show everything. You just need to show, what am I trying to show? Like something like this, I would stick like this. Bam, something like that, a little bit down. Try different things. Holy shit, look at this dude. That's a sweet shot. You can get some incredible looking shots, man. Incredible looking shots. Look at that shot. That is wicked. Just the teeth. This dude, I mean, you can get some incredible shots just by moving your camera. So, I'm hoping something like this can help you. Remember, don't try and get everything in the image. You don't need everything. It's boring. it's boring. I mean, it's a cool shot. Everything's fine. Half this crap I don't need, man. Learn to cut the fat. That was one of the most important lessons I ever had in my life. Cut the fat off. Cut the things that aren't adding to telling your story. If it doesn't add telling the story that you want to tell, cut it out. You don't need to. So, there. I don't need the back of his head. I don't need half his body. I don't need all that shit. And this too, I don't need the side of his head. I don't need all of that. I need to know that he's struggling to get away and that something's holding him back. Okay? That's what I need to know. And that is why instead of taking this shot, which I loved, I really liked the shot. It was a cool shot, but instead of taking that one, I think I went with the right shot and I took this one. And it just added so much dynamism, dynamism to the shot. Okay, so I hope this helps. It's just little tricks and techniques. Cut the fat off, show what you need to show, and you can get away with some cool things. Here's a couple more. I didn't have to show the entire body, the whole head. I just had to show that face, just that close up of a face. Once again, the same with this. I just had to show the eyes, a little bit of the face. I mean, I could have got away with that, in all honesty. But I cut the rest out. It's the eyes I just wanted to see. Once again, here as well, I cut most of the image out. I wanted you to look through something. And I just wanted to portray that there's something behind there that you forgot about, okay? And that it kind of remembers you. And I didn't have to show the entire puppet or anything. I just had to show that bit of a face, bit of color. And I blocked out, 60% of the scene? So that's what it is. Same with these things. Just show what you want to show to tell the story you want to. And if you add a cool angle, cool lens, cool focal point, depth of field, whatever, all of this adds to telling that story. Do I want it to feel scary? Do I want it to feel up in your face? Do I want it to feel claustrophobic? Do I want it to feel scary or not so scary? Damn, that's good singing. Anyway, guys, I hope this helps. Play around with your cameras, play around with your focal, play around with things and see where you get to. Anyway, I hope this helps, and thanks for watching, and I'll see you again later. Bye, guys.